Hi, welcome to another episode of Talking with Docs. I'm Dr. Paul Zalzal.
I'm Dr. Brad Wheeling.
So, we're going to ask a question today. This is actually a question I've been wondering too.
Okay.
Is it okay to shake hands again? Okay, now that the pandemic is starting to be a little bit behind us.
2 years, almost to the day.
Yeah. Is it okay to go out and shake hands?
Okay, because a lot of people have been nervous about any human physical contact, particularly with someone that's outside of your household.
Yes.
So
social distancing, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Sure.
First of all, is it important to shake hands?
So I think for some people it is. I think human contact is important. I certainly shake a lot of hands. It's like something I do for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I think before the pandemic, when we meet a patient, we would shake hands and things like that. The handshaking dates back many years.
Yeah, maybe centuries even. Probably.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it was initially. I think there's even some accounts of it in Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey.
Okay.
You read that this morning, didn't you?
Yes, I thought you were going to talk about Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson. I don't know if he shakes hands, but Homer the poet at 800 BC mentioned clasping hands as people greet each other. It used to be thought of a way of showing that you're not carrying a weapon.
Oh.
Maybe not so relevant.
What if you go like this?
Yeah. That's a Western approach to it.
Sure.
So, is it okay to shake hands from a infectious disease point of view?
So I think the short answer is maybe.
Good answer.
Yeah. So is there any science to talk about this? But we talk about studies that have been done and I think it's important for us to discuss in all of our videos. Just because there isn't evidence to say something is right or wrong doesn't mean that it isn't that, but just means it hasn't been a study yet. So like when we talk about supplements, if there's not evidence for supplements, it doesn't mean that they don't work. It just means that maybe someone hasn't done a study that was rigorous enough to prove that it works. So please don't get angry.
Right, and sometimes we might not just get the evidence.
That's
for example,
right.
For handshaking, to design a study to see if that is safe or not would cost millions of dollars that no one's going to fund because there's no way to profit off
The Handshaking
this.
Society doesn't have that
free.
kind of budget.
Handshakes and smiles are free.
Free.
So there is no actual scientific evidence, so we have to go back to common sense.
Right, okay. So why do we care? What are we worried about?
Initially, we weren't sure how the virus was transmitted.
Right.
So handshaking was frowned upon, recommended not to do because we thought it could transmit that way.
Yes.
However, now we've learned that it's by far most likely through little droplets that you ingest.
Yes.
Aerosols, airborne, so the handshake might be a little safer to do. Of course, you have to be careful because I remember before the pandemic, there's some cultural norms in certain cultures where you wouldn't shake hands.
Yes, particularly across genders.
Yes, you wouldn't, right? And I've made that mistake before in my practice where I tried to shake someone's hand and I realized,
you're left hanging.
Yeah, exactly.
Awkward.
Just go one of those. So, and the other thing to keep in mind, there's a lot of different types of handshakes.
Sure. There's like the high five.
There's the high five. There's the Queen of England handshake where it's maybe just a couple of fingers that you just sort of jiggle up and down. Low risk.
There's the fist pump, which has become maybe the handshake of choice during the pandemic. It's a resurgence for sure.
Elbow pump became popular.
Which I thought was awkward.
There's the hip hop. That's a multi-step handshake.
Sure.
Might involve a little bit of this, that, a little bit of that.
And that kind of melds into the baseball handshake where who knows what they're doing there.
That dugout handshake often ends in a body slam or a hug.
Yes, right.
So different types of handshakes. We're just talking about the standard handshake.
Right.
At this point, it's probably okay to resume. I'm going to go throw that out there.
Okay, and I would say if I was going to do it, I would make sure that I had probably sanitized before and sanitized after. So you're going to get even drier skin than you had before.
Yeah, and obviously don't lick your hand. Or for a lot of reasons, don't lick the hand of the person you're about to shake with.
Sure. They usually say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but you probably shouldn't lick the hand that feeds you.
Don't bite the hand that feeds, don't lick the hand that shakes.
They go hand in hand.
Ultimately, it's your comfort level. Right?
And maybe some people will never be comfortable with that. And I think that's a possibility. I think some people might wear a mask for a prolonged period of time. People are going to be nervous, unfortunately, because of some of the consequences of all this. So everyone, you got to figure out what you're comfortable with and what the person that you're hanging around with or trying to shake hands with is comfortable with, and live within that. And don't judge, don't get angry. It just is what it is.
So do you think we should be asking? It might feel a little bit awkward, but it might be worth saying, hey, are you okay with a handshake before we shake it?
I'd like to shake your hand.
Is that going to be okay?
I think that would be weird, but yeah, you're going to have to read the room maybe a little bit.
The whole thing is weird. There's no way to get it's weird now, okay?
Yeah.
However, I think everyone wants to sort of start resuming normal activity, and the handshake is. Now, you might have the type of life where you can go through your whole month without ever needing to shake someone's hand.
Yes.
And that's fine. The other thing that I came across when I was doing some research on this is the issue of whether or not you're vaccinated.
Right.
A lot of experts feel that if you're vaccinated, it's okay to resume handshaking. If you're not vaccinated, keep your hands to yourself.
Interesting. Is that more because they have a higher chance of getting it, or a higher chance of getting sick from it, or a little bit of both?
That one confuses me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into.
I think no one even knows.
No, we're not going to jump into a vaccine debate here.
No.
But definitely that has come up in some of the research I've done. Research says, you know what, if you're vaccinated, it's okay to resume handshakes.
All right, well, that's a really good summary, Paul. And hey, if you guys like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel.
And remember, you are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time. Paul, thanks. That was a really, really good
Nicely
video.
done.
Yeah,
Want to do a
excellent.
dugout?